fan of the mixed martial arts for a while, since its the beginning. In 1993, I saw the first UFC, and it was crazy to me. It was brutal, it was nuts, and I got intrigued by it. But what really inspired me was when I got to meet a lot of these fighters over the years, and find out that they're just regular guys, the greatest guys I've met. You know, you think that these just gladiators in an octagon that just are, mean all the time, and they're not. They're family men. They're, and you find they're fighting to put food on the table for their kids, and they're just great people, and they know each other in the community. They're just like everybody else. They just have such a crazy, unique job that I would never want to do. But I definitely respect them for what they did, and the amount of sacrifice they put into what they do, and the fact that they would, lay down their life physically for, the cause that they're fighting for. And it just inspired me. And on the flip side of it, I just had some great, teachers in my life that really inspired me to this day. Yeah. It's true, and it's. I named a couple in the movie after them, and they a couple characters, and they just taught me great principles about being a good person, and inspired me and helped me, be positive about things. And they don't even maybe realize how much it affects me, but I follow their principles to this day. It's 30 years later, so it's not like when school ends, your relationship ends, and they really mold you when the cement is drying, and that's when it happens. That you can, and by the way, on the flip side, you can be molded in a bad way by a bad teacher. So it's like, to be inspiring, they've got an opportunity, and I think the great teachers need to be saluted, for sure. And that's what I tried to do in combining that.
That's right. I know Melissa's dying.
I have one more time for one more question. That's it.
One second, because you're also a dad. So the message of the inspiring teachers and the teachers that actually care and getting up and dancing, is that something that you had in your head also for your kids?
Absolutely. I want to show them, how important it is. And it's not just, how one, look, we all become complacent in our lives at one point or another. Everybody does. It's natural. But to push past that and to sacrifice yourself for the love of another, there's no greater love than laying your life down physically for that, and to show the sacrifice, what it does. As much as it looks like I'm giving for Henry's character in the movie, he's giving back to me. He's waking me up. As much as, the same thing with Selma. She makes me become a better man in the movie. I in turn help my brother become a better husband. And, it inspires the students, and the students inspire me, and it kind of bounces off each other, and everybody kind of feeds off it, and it makes everybody a better version of themselves.
My turn.
Yeah.
The Fonz, come on.
Love.
On the heels of that and these messages and heroes, I'd like to know, who are some of your heroes and who's inspired you in your life?
I was inspired mostly by people that I saw who needed to do what they did. The people who were authentic. People who were passionate about what they did. But I want to just answer the question that you asked also before. Where did this come from in Kevin? Kevin, this big boy.
Yeah, very big, by the way. The movie shot 1.5 years ago, and I've just gone crazy. I'm worried about these chairs holding me right now. I'm worried about a lot of things. There might be sweat coming out of me. I love you guys, but I love food more. I apologize. I know they're big. So if someone's going down, take a guess which one it is.
This big boy moves like a panther. I want to tell you. So Kevin is not only the co-writer and the star, but he also is a producer of the film. And we would shoot the fights, and we shot them over several weeks. And every move was choreographed, and so every move was a shot. And then Kevin would be thrown around that ring as you saw, and then he would get up, he would go over to the monitor, he would check to see if he okayed the take, he'd get back in the ring, he'd be thrown around like a rag doll, he would get up. We'd start at 7 in the morning, we shot some scenes at 4 in the morning, all, no matter what, the man in inspired us all. No matter what your complaint was, you had no complaints because you watched Kevin day after day come and meet his challenge. It was amazing, and I'm really glad I got to say that in public. No, I'm telling you, it is not hyperbole. You can ask any extra, you can ask any human being that was on that set, and they will say the same.
Awesome.
Well, that's really sweet. But
As far as teachers, I had a hard time. So I had one teacher, a music teacher, Mr. Rock, who was also in the Hank Zipser series. And he said to me one sentence, he said, "Winkler, when you get out of here, you're going to be okay." And I carried that one sentence in my heart until yesterday.
We have music teachers here today.
No, that's how forward-thinking America is. We cut the music program. And what does music do? It helps the children open their soul. It helps the children open themselves to the world. It helps the children with math. And the first thing we should do, cut the music program.
Okay, so who has questions? Okay. Stand up, you're loud.
For Mr. James, how much weight did you lose for the movie, during the movie, and since the movie?
since the movie, I found it all behind the couch. It was waiting for me the whole time. I think I dropped, honestly, about 80 pounds for it, and I don't think I got it all back, but I'm getting close. I've certainly been enjoying. You know what it is? As soon as you're done with the movie, and I worked really hard to get in shape because the UFC was the one that gave us their blessing to do the movie, and they don't give their movies out. They haven't done it with anybody. But their one concern was they didn't want it to be Paul Blart in the ring, you know, falling around and goofy and making fun of that. They said this part has to be kind of realistic, and we wanted it to be that way. But so I said that's what my intention was as well. So I trained really hard to do it. We trained like 14 months out and really changed my eating, greens and everything horrible that you can imagine. But it was we got it done, and you know, it was just a process of just committing myself to doing it, and I'm so glad I did. And you know, it's great to have it documented so I can show my kids, and my kids are like, wow, that's you, okay. And since then, now it's been nothing but hot dogs and love. But you know, it was a tough ride. It was a lot of work, and you know, like I said, it was. Everybody did a great job in this movie. I'm so thrilled about it because it's Henry's character, by the way. I mean, if you don't have this man, and I gotta say this, if you don't have this man in the movie, if we didn't find him, none of it works, and that's the truth. Because we had to find a character who you instantly believe and love and get behind and root for. And there's nobody I could have thought. Honestly, I'm telling you, I was getting panicked about it. And I talked to Adam Sandler about it, and you know, and I said, you know, Henry's the greatest guy because I love, obviously, Happy Days is the greatest, you know, show, and everybody was going nuts over that. But Night Shift, I mean, his character in Night Shift, he was fantastic in that, and everything he's done. So, and Click, Arrested. I mean, it goes on and on. But just, you know, we needed someone you get behind, because you have to believe that this is a guy that I'm going to sacrifice literally my body for, and believe it. And this is the man that is. He is that guy, and you instantly get behind him, and you know, he made the movie. He really did. I remember when he delivers that line about, you know, we could stop right now, and everything we had worked for had been accomplished. I remember when we shot that, and he did it in first take, just like that, and we were all crying by the monitor going, we're done, we did it, that was it. Did do it, and when he says, you know, that he's my hero, you know, it was just, that's exactly what I wanted to make this movie for, right there.
Okay, Chinny.
Hi, my name is Chinny, and I have 6-year-old twin boys, and I live in this neighborhood. On so many different areas, the film was amazing. It made me laugh, it made me cry, it did inspire me, and it reflected on what's going on across public schools across the United States. Can I just say, from a personal perspective, do you think it's right that so many schools are having these budget cuts, and not everybody have the resources in every neighborhood to do what you did?
Right.
So it's just from a personal perspective. I'm not asking you for a political opinion, but just as a dad raising children in the United States, What's your opinion?
It crushes me that some kids will not have an opportunity to do this. Look, I never played musical instruments growing up, but I had friends who did. And like Henry was saying, you see how music affects people in so many ways that in the movie they learn to study by it. And anybody here knows that you hear like a few bars of any song, it can instantly take you back to a time in your life where whatever it may be, and it's so specific. In this movie, it drives the fighters to inspire them or intimidate the others. You know, I mean, it's such a great to deny kids of that. You know, it's the same thing with the whole inspiration thing. You don't realize the ripple effect it'll have if someone's not exposed to this, if a kid is not exposed. So it's not just on the surface of, oh, they just want to get to play violin. That's it. But that's not a big deal. And that's the way people see it. But that's not true. You know, it's the whole culture, it's the whole thing, how it expands and how it can affect everybody around in ways that you can't even see. So, yeah, I mean, the opportunity when kids don't get it, it's crushing. And I think everybody deserves it.
But I think the statement that went out, which is great to represent America, it is up to you, you're in control, we are individuals, and this is where dreams come true. So you are in control to some degree, and you empowered me today as a parent to say, let's go back into the school and figure out what's needed, and if there's anything I can do.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
So thank you so much. And
Thank you.
I'm from the UK. I'm happy to be here, and there's another message that came across. It was hilarious to have all these people applying for U.S. citizenship, and it's wonderful, and the children of these immigrants going out there to be tomorrow's stars. It could be Fonzie, and I have to say, again, I'm so thrilled. I was probably 9 years old when Happy Days came out, and I still remember the
happens
song.
how you're affected by it.
Incredible.
Around the world, everybody's affected by it. That's exactly it.
Thank you. Is Deb Lewis here? Where's Deb? Question. I promise her.
Hi, Mr. Winkler. Hi, Kevin.
Hi.
For the Fonz, Kevin, what did you learn being so close to Henry and working with him that some of us who have loved him over the years, what secrets did he tell you?
Well, first of all, and everybody hits him up with the Fonz stuff, and I said, I'm not going to do that. And the first thing out of my mouth was, what was it like being the Fonz? When did you switch color leather jackets? I remember you had a brown one for a while. Did you really ride that motorcycle? What's Anson Williams? What's Potsy really like? Did you take him in a fight? Did you take Potsy in a real fight? I went day in and day out with it. And he's the greatest. He answers. You can tell someone's a great individual. It's not when the cameras are on them, but you see how they're acting with when people aren't necessarily watching them. And that's the one thing I've noticed about Henry is, it doesn't matter what cameras are rolling or not. I saw him talk to every extra every day, talking to people in the crowd, and it is the real deal. And I tell him every time I see him, and he's nice to people, it almost ticks me off because it's like, you keep raising the bar, you idiot. You have to be nice. It's so frustrating because, when Henry's around, but he changes everybody around. You talk to one person who thinks Henry's, a bad guy, you can't find it. It's incredible and it's infectious, and that's what I love about him. And by the way, whatever questions you have, he's never, to me, it's never, I don't want to talk about that. He was so open about everything. He's just the greatest. And his family, his wife Stacy, and his family the same way. So you can see that through his family and why they're that way. And that's what we need, people like that.
And Henry, what did you learn from Kevin at the movie?
I told you, should have good places to eat. I'll tell you that right now. Right? Yes.
Can I get back to you on that? I'll tell you what I learned. I learned amazing generosity because Kevin is the motor, is the engine of the movie, is the star of the movie, is the producer and the writer of the movie, and has a tremendous load to pull. And Kevin allowed me to bring my imagination full-blown every day, did not edit me in any way, and the days that I made Kevin James laugh were great days. Truly.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing the laughter to us all these years. I lived with you from a kid in Barbados, so thank you so much. And we watch you there and love you.
Can I call you Henry?
You can.
Okay. Hi, Henry. I'm Gigi.
Gigi?
Gigi. You look so comfortable conducting music. Is it something that you've done before, or is it something you learned?
I did it once before. Now, I love music because I can't make music, so I depend upon the kindness of strangers. And I use music to help me build the emotionality of the parts that I play. And a few years ago, I was asked to conduct the Boston Pops July 4th on the Cape. And I couldn't believe it. And I had a baton, and I did this piece. And what I realized is that the piece keeps going when you're ready to finish. It's like a sport. You've got to be in shape. But the emotion you see on camera is honest and true. Those kids are a real orchestra in that high school outside of Boston. And we were together, and oh my goodness, it was pure heaven for me, actually.
And my husband loves you in waterboard.
Thank you.
So we have one more question.
Hi, I'm a music teacher, and what was it like working with the kids? Did you get to know them?
I did. I got to know them all. They were, first of all, really good musicians. They had really beaten up instruments. And at the end of the film, when we do the piece beautifully, and you see them playing all those new instruments, Kevin and Todd Garner, his producing partner, they were in the room and they told the kids they can keep those new They gave them a full orchestra of instruments at the end of the filming. It was really wonderful because I had to be instantly connected with them, so we joked a lot together and off camera.
Oh, that must have helped a lot.
Some of them still tweet me.
Can I ask one last question real fast? You were a wrestler in high school, correct? Okay, I'd love to know, what did that give you? Did it help your confidence? I mean, the fighting?
It was a work ethic in wrestling. I only wrestled for 1 year, but I was a running back in high school, and they needed a heavyweight. And I was a big kid, I was a strong kid back in high school, and they asked me to come into the wrestling, and wrestling was so tough. It was such a different sport for me that, it just, they work so hard, and I think that's kind of stuck with me as far as, not with the wrestling, obviously, the body's gone, but no, but in honestly in work ethic and getting things done, and everybody in this movie worked really hard. I mean, we have everybody coming in from Selma, Henry, it was phenomenal, and everybody did their part and delivered because we did it as a team, and that's what it was. It was like a unit that just kept working, and we just loved what we were getting. And again, it's not the easiest movie to sell because you see that there's fighting and people, but it's so much more than the fighting is a metaphor in this movie. I'd say it all. It's really about inspiration. It's about overcoming and becoming a better version of yourself. And that's what, if anything, wrestling helped me do. It is that work ethic, just to really work hard and to accomplish what you set out to do.
I'm just going to add a story. The scene of the practicing to get ready when he's really getting good at it with his trainer in the room before we walk out for the last fight. And I'm sitting in the corner on the stool watching him. The money has been embezzled. Two things about that scene. One is Kevin came up to me and he said, I'm so sorry. I know we're doing it over and over again. You're just sitting there. But this is the scene I've been waiting for. This is my Rocky. And it was so touching because he meant it with every fiber of his being. And then we talked about the idea that the money had been embezzled. And I ad-libbed a line, and I looked at Kevin and I said, I hate him, meaning the assistant principal who stole the money. And Kevin said to me, would you do me a favor? Would you not say the word hate? And I started to argue with him, and I said, but it's really an emotional moment. It's a very big moment here. We found out the money is gone. He said, I don't want hate in this movie. And Kevin had a vision from soup two nuts. And I believe that he completely captured his vision in this movie. Here Comes the Boom.
Mm.
Yeah.